sparring gives you judgment and assessment for what strikes to use. Sparring gives you an education, and it makes you honest. It makes you honest about what will work, what won't work, what won't work. That's what sparring does. You know, it's a reality check. Sparring is a reality check, and the things that you thought work, you'll find out that they don't. The things that you like, you'll find out that may be a great idea, or you might find out that most likely that there's better ways to approach this. You just can't do it. You won't be able to judge and assess anything if you don't spar. It just, you can't, to learn how to drive a car, you actually have to try and get on the road. You know, you can't be a swimmer, and you can't teach swimming if you're afraid of the water. You gotta fight. You gotta get dirty. Hard sparring is good for conditioning, more for endurance, and for mentality. You know, it can make you tough, but you don't need to do that every day. You just have to be willing to do it without hesitation, and be okay with it. And at some point, you should enjoy it. That would even be better. But you don't have to do it every day. You shouldn't do it every day. Once a week at best. Once a week is good. Once a week is good. Twice, if you're trying to like stay on your game for fighting. I'm talking like if we had an off season, at least twice a week you should do some hard sparring. And then if you were an athlete who's fighting a lot, then I would say easily 3.5 average days a week for that hard sparring. Headgear, but that only protects you against cuts. It doesn't do anything about the percussive effect of the blows. Mouthpiece, of course. So you definitely, if you have your reservations about the physical harm, you definitely want to wear your safety gear. Wear as much as you can without losing your mobility. Don't get a suit of armor. But you need that. Some people have never been struck before, and when it happens to them, it's very unpleasant. And some people are like, huh? So you don't want that. It's good. It's refreshing to get hit. Some people would be a lot better human beings if they got hit. You help them ease into it. You help them test the waters by try single arm sparring, where they're allowed to just hit with the front hand. Start with something like that, nice and simple, and then you can graduate them in. You tell them 50% contact or 50% power and speed, or more or less. You can adjust that on a sliding scale. But you need that, and also sometimes just I think it's a good idea to line them up and just gently tap them a few times, hit them in the chin, the nose, make a game out of it, but tap them a little bit, let them see that it's not that bad. Most of the time with getting hit, we're like, and it's not really going to be that bad. And then sometimes it's worse. Timing. Sparring is going to help you with your timing, because you'll learn how to use your timing to deal with a variety of different opponents. The more sparring you get in with the different varieties of opponents, or with different controlled conditions, is going to educate your sense of timing, which means that you'll be able to one day spar with somebody who's taller than you, and you'll be able to adjust your game. You can bring your current game that you feel comfortable with into your fighting and make it work against whoever you need it to work, as long as you have the timing to, you've got to read their timing, and then you've got to know your timing, so that way you can go, all right, this is coming at me, but I know that I can step off, or I've got time to do this, or I don't have time to launch this and this, but I do have time to do whatever the case may be. But your timing will help with that. will help you do that because you've sparred a lot.